Oh, just saw an orb. Just saw an orb. It just shot right straight down. Out of the light, I do believe. Hello and welcome. Come on in, you guys. We are going to talk about the actual death process. All right, Spirit, if I have that adjusted correctly, can you give me a wink or a blink? Anything, let me know if I have that light. All right, let me get it. Because I enjoy the feedback the light gives me. It actually kind of helps with the, well, how about that? There we go. All right, I guess I have the right spot then. Thank you, Spirit on the light. Because I kind of could use your input here since you're already somebody dead, okay? Thank you, Spirit. All right, the dying process. What happens? What happens? First off, there are several ways to die. And if you've ever been to any of my grief groups, I don't mean to be callous about it, but I do kind of divide the group up a little bit. Natural causes over here, murders and suicides over here, car wrecks and whatever. Because the process is a little bit different for every different type of death. All right. Let's just say we reach good old age. Let's say we have made it 80, 90 years, and we are laying on our bed, getting ready to meet our Maker. Now, some of the things that happen when people are in hospice care, and I do a lot of end-of-life hospice work. I help the families. I answer questions for the person that is dying. A lot of times they want to know. Like one lady asked me, she says, "How will I know what line to get in up there?" So, at the end of a long natural existence, the body begins shutting down slowly. Some hospice caregivers believe the best thing to do at the end of those days is to, hold certain amounts of food and water and allow the body to do what it's going to do. Now, family members don't understand that this person's they're literally needing to die. They're needing to let go. And family members come in and they don't understand the process. You're making my father starve to death. Honey, his organs have shut down. That food isn't going to go anywhere. You're not giving him enough to drink. He's going to die of thirst. Honey, again, his organs have shut down, as is the natural process, and they don't need that food, they don't need that water at the very tail end. Oftentimes at the very tail end, you will often see the person that is laying there that has been so out of it for weeks, perhaps, reach up. When you get to the very tail end like that, you see the other side. You see the other side very easily, too, sometimes. And as an elderly person is laying there, I have the most beautiful collection of birds outside this window right now. I feel like I'm on point then with the discussion. But as they are laying there and they're preparing, their body is preparing them, they are beginning to get visitors from the other side. Now, this same process happens in an accident also. It happens in a split second, though. Whereas for the elderly, the process gets drawn out a little bit more. But they begin to see somebody. And even just prior to an accidental death, they usually see Jesus. Doesn't make a difference if you knew him, loved him, or worshiped him while you were alive. He will show up for you. He will show up for you. Nobody dies alone. Those folks from the other side begin to come over. They prepare the soul for its transition. They visit, oftentimes, especially in late stage hospice care. The person that's dying will see them. We are given that ability again. That kind of comes back. We have it as tiny babies. Often when babies are born, they still have a memory of what the other side was like. They can still see and hear spirit as babies. That comes back as a dying adult too, or whatever age you may be. I once did a reading for a mother whose 11-year-old son, I do believe he was 11, he hung himself. The school had forced her to put him on Ritalin or Adderall or one of those behavioral drugs. He came home after school and told his mom, he said, "You know, I think that new medication might be helping. It helps me finish my thoughts." Mama thought, "Wow, isn't that great? It's helping." She said, "Go finish your homework. I'll come and get you when supper's ready." And however long it took for her to finish cooking, she picked up the little 1.5-year-old and put that baby on her hip and went to get the other child. And when she opened his bedroom door, she saw his little body hanging there. That would have to be the heartbreak that any mother could barely fathom. Not only did she have a deceased child hanging there, that poor baby, the 1.5-year-old baby in her hip, suffered that day too, because I know Mama let out that blood-curdling scream that we will do when we have a dead child. And that baby was scared to death in her mother's arms. Now, as tragic as that sounds, that little boy did not die alone. Because when I connected with him after his death, he told me a pretty lady was by his side holding his hand. And then he told me the guy with the ponytail. No, the guy with the hair that should have been in a ponytail also came in. So I'm not exactly sure who the pretty lady was. My guess would be the Holy Mother Mary. She is the patron saint of mothers and small children, and she's there. It could have been a grandmother for him. But the other guy with that needed his hair put in a ponytail was Jesus. That little boy did not know Jesus in his lifetime, obviously. It didn't make any difference to Jesus. He just showed up to help that little boy across. That little boy's life was celebrated on the other side. They prepare a reunion, a gathering, a picnic, a party. When we cross over, they are there with their arms outreached for us. Our pets will be there. Family that's gone on ahead of us will be there. You will see saints that you did not feel like you would be worthy of when you cross over. So I want you to know that nobody dies alone. Nobody ever dies alone. The final moments in this world, we have spirit guides, guardian angels, and ascended masters that come to us. They bring us a sense of relief and comfort at that moment, and then they have that welcoming committee on the other side, again, bringing us relief and comfort. Now, once I pass on from that welcoming committee, let's just say somebody died in a very tragic way. Suicide. A lot of times we're told that from some churches and beliefs that they don't get in heaven. No, sir. They took their own life. Well, that's wrong. I'll explain more about suicide in another video. But let's just say for the time being that that's how the person passed. That was a troubled individual in this life, obviously. Wounded for whatever reason. Now, let's think about soul contract. That person agreed to take on all that hardship and heartache before they were born. So this person may be a little uncomfortable in this lifetime, troubled, mentally ill by some descriptions and definitions. But once that soul crosses over, it's welcomed the same way. There's no punishment at all. Absolutely. That person is set up and will receive counseling, kind of help them to adjust and decompress after everything they've been through in the physical world. There's a team on the other side that literally helps them slip out of that illusion that we wear while we're down here and all the heartache that we deal with. We let that go with the physical body. It stays behind. So they have to go through a little bit of spiritual counseling over there just so they can make that transition and then start fresh again and get ready for the next incarnation. We repeat, we come down here, we wash, rinse, and repeat more than you can imagine. Oftentimes we think that we reincarnate a few times, you know. Oh, I remember the Civil War. Oh, I remember being a Native American. I remember. Sometimes we can. But there is a process. I'll have to find it for you guys so that you can do this. It's a numerology equation for you to figure out how many times you have been reincarnated. Mine was upwards of 400. Yours wouldn't be any different. Not by a lot. We live hundreds of times. Hundreds of times. So your memories of those other lifetimes can kind of pop through. A lot of times we get deja vu about things. You know, we feel like we've been here, done that before. Maybe you did. All right, I'm going to cut this off here and not keep rambling. I did want to touch on those things. I want you to know that nobody dies alone. Never. Ever. I don't care how quick, how dangerous it is, how fast. I don't care how slow. Nobody dies alone. All right, there you have it, you guys. I hope you that brings you a little bit of comfort and some consolation to know that your loved ones, even though they may have died in a tragic way, had comfort and they had company and they were not alone. All right, there you have it. Hope that resonated with some of you. Please hit that like button, smash that subscribe, and tell your friends about me. And you know, I never leave you. That honestly bless you with love and light. See you soon.